very proud. I'm Albany all day. I'm a student of history. That's one of the things going to Albany State that gets driven into your mind, that W.E.B. Du Bois came here and studied folks, the souls of black folks, all of that. Dr. Holly was inspired by W.E.B. Du Bois to do something about it. That's why he started Albany State, and Dr. King came here. So Albany has always stayed in my heart that way, and I knew that I wanted to try to make my difference, try to put my hand on the till as many before me had, and make a difference. And as soon as I get into position, this happens. Just to be candid, I have to say not much changed through 2 black mayors, especially for the residents of the South Side. And that was one of the reasons I ran, because I knew things hadn't changed a whole lot. We were still doing things like trying to put a liquor store right here in a poor black neighborhood where children catch the bus right across the street from a housing complex. And I was wondering who thought it was a good idea to put a liquor store right in the middle of all of that. Of course, that pushed me to the forefront as a community leader. Not that I was looking for it, but it was in my own self-interest. My daughter was catching the bus right there. Femi Anderson was a lifelong childhood friend. She hosted my swearing-in reception, and she passed away. That was a gut punch. Her parents had connections to the civil rights movement as well as mine, and we grew up as civil rights babies. She lived in my district. She had done so much great work in the community with the art cafe. You know, I had just gotten elected. To see just 2 months later she's gone is just a new world. It just turns everything upside down. At that time, there was no shelter-in-place agreement, so we were just trying to convince them, listen, you all need to stop having services for now because this thing is in our community. The death toll was 90% African-American. We know when America catches a cold, black folks get pneumonia. For me personally, I knew this was in the black community, this was in my community. Just hearing how it moves, I was basically just trying to say, it's here, so we got to get ready. If it had hit their community, like it hit the black community, I think the response would have been a whole lot different. I think if it had hit somewhere where it was white, Republican, where they lost 40 people at their churches, then you would have seen the full power of the government come to bear. They're letting Phoebe kind of see their way through it, when in other places the Army Corps of Engineers come in and set up whole 200-bed hospitals. But we're waiting to see if they can kind of stitch Palmyra back together. We didn't get a whole Army Corps of Engineers putting up a new hospital at the Civic Center like they're doing in New York. That's the level we're at here in Albany. I think we got a little complacent. We were always fighting for a majority who did not have power, that was so long kept out of power. Boom, we get our first black mayor in Willie Adams, so okay, we've arrived and we got the top spot, so we're pretty good. Then a few years later, Barack Obama comes and we've arrived, so we kind of get off the gas. It's like, okay, everything's going to be good. People thinking that, okay, we have control of everything, so we don't have to keep going to the polls, and that wasn't the case. I think a lot of political apathy had set in. Right now, so many of the things that we've gravitated towards, the ability to sit down and watch sports and go have a beer, spend our resources on the other side of town, not necessarily spend our resources where it was going to be passed on to our generations. Just all of these frivolous things that we think is supposed to be the American dream. All of that's on hold or either gone. And then you have the government basically saying, we got to get you all back, that we're going to send you all some money so you can get back to living that life. I think it's time for us to take a pause and see if that's what we're supposed to be doing. Maybe that's God sending us a signal that says, hey, that ain't it. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. We can't just get comfortable in our condition. We can't just be nihilistic about our situation, about policies that were specifically designed for us not to be successful, specifically designed for us not to see a better day. We have to want to do better. We have to want better for not just our current situation, but our children afterwards. We have a responsibility.